Welcome back, people. Real Tech Talk, episode number 28. Today, you better pay attention because we're talking about remodeling your kitchens, your bathrooms, and your apartments. Every day, people walk up to me and they say, oh, you know construction and development. How much would it be for me to redo my kitchen? I don't have any idea. I don't know where you live. I don't know what you're looking for. But there's got to be a solution out there that can answer those questions and then give you a credible bid that you would actually know that when someone tells you what the cost would be, they achieve that cost. Now, why is that important? Well, think about this. The 2nd Avenue subway we thought would cost X. Well, you know what it cost? 2X. And that's the most credible people out there. We had the right contractors. We had the right geographic information and geological information. We were still wrong. So imagine what it's like on your normal bathroom and kitchen when you come talk to me. We brought in a technologist who's going to attack that Homaze, my girl Inbal. So come on in, pay attention. Welcome to the next episode of Real Tech Talk, baby.
That's why we're here, bro. This is Real Tech Talk. Boom shakalaka. So who the hell are you, bro? You know, what are you into? What do you do? Yo, you can keep it real here. Tell me about these real estate players.
Eric Brody is the managing principal of CEMVC LLC. All opinions expressed by Eric and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of CEMVC LLC. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions. Clients of CEMVC LLC may maintain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.
Welcome back to Real Tech Talk, people, episode number 28. Today, we are going to hit a subject that if you are not listening and paying attention to will be a problem because you're all affected by it. It's home renovation. What do you do out there when you're trying to do a new bathroom, a new kitchen, a gut renovation? How do you have that credibility out there? How do you get pricing? How do you get it built? And how does it have the same result each and every time? There's a massive problem in the game, and we have the foremost technology that's attacking that problem. And my friend, my homegirl, Inbal. Inbal, thank you so much for joining us here at Real Tech Talk. Of course. You know, normally we start and you give a little background, but tell us, what are you attacking right now? And then I'm going to tell the people a little bit about your background. So what is Homaze doing and how are they changing the game when it comes to home remodeling?
Well, you know how it is that when you renovate your home and you set expectations about budget and timeline and all that, and it never works.
I mean, never. We even talk about, like, we did a project, the 2nd Avenue subway here. It was 2 times. And people were like, that's the most professional people with the most information. Imagine what's a homeowner to do.
Yeah, exactly. So you know why it is like that?
Why?
Because the remodelers, they don't have data and they are rely.
They don't have what?
Data. They rely only on their experience. And that's it. They don't know what is the property conditions, what's going on in other projects in the area. And this is what we do. We
By the way,
provide them
funny enough, sorry to cut you off. Every contractor in our complete audience will know they're always like, I've done it this way for 25 years. And you're like, so when you finish, where's that information go? Like, that's it. The remodeler's done and whatever he's learned. So you're 100% right. And they have no idea.
They have 25 years of experience. And every time there is a new surprise, I haven't seen that before. It's the first time I see that. And you know what? If they had the information before, they would have known that.
So what, how do we solve this? Like, okay, by the way, everyone agrees with you. I don't care if they've done a bathroom, they've done a kitchen. The cost did not come in on what their expectation was. So what do you do? And how does technology impact that?
So first of all, we believe that it all starts with a great proposal and a really accurate estimate. So we gather data from all kinds of sources and we provide the remodelers a really real-time data about this property and about other projects in the area.
So you're attacking it by saying it's the remodeler's problem. The consumer, don't worry, we're going to figure it out for you.
Yeah.
So it's a remodeler's issue and you're saying first is we're going to bring them and we're going to empower them with data and information. So what kind of data are you giving to a remodeler?
Well, it's about the property conditions, data about the specific building, about the property management, any requirements in this building, about the age of the property and what it may cost. We provide them with data about subcontractors' prices, anything they need to know to gather the information for a much better, accurate proposal. And also we help them to build a really profitable business because currently they don't take into account enough overheads, contingency, and all that everything that is needed to complete this project with a profit, a good profit. So we also take care of them and not only the homeowner.
That's fascinating because what people don't realize, right, is that construction could be like a Ponzi scheme. As long as they have work, they have cash flow and are making money. And what you're saying is like, hey, contractor, we want you to be in business and you need to make money. You're not taking into account all of these other costs so that you have a proposal that's accurate. And then the homeowner is going to be like, well, isn't it going to be more expensive? But you're going to tell me, you're going to be like, yeah, but they'd rob you or figure out how to make money if they were under the budget. They don't want to pay for your project, right?
Yeah. It's a three-sided pain business because there is the homeowner, the contractor, and the subcontractor. They are all in this place. In every remodeling project, there are between 2 to 8 subcontractors that are part of this project. And this problem is around everyone: the general contractor, the plumber, the electrician, the flooring guy. Everyone are part of this problem. And of course, the homeowner. So we gather this information and we streamline the data between all the parties. And this is the way we provide all of them much better, accurate, fast proposal and estimate.
So, okay. So I agree with you 100%. And I mean, even yesterday, a dear friend of mine calls me up. He's a doctor. He's renovating his office. And he's like, and it's not a big project. And he's like, Eric, what's the cost? And I'm like, I don't have any data and information, right? But as a general contractor and a developer, I should know immediately. I should, yeah, it's going to cost you $120 a foot. It's a total guess, right? Yeah. Which sets up the whole industry for failure, where they think they're shady, where they think there's something wrong. So Homaze is now a platform increasing the credibility of the contractors to give proposals. Is that?
Yeah, and also to streamline the communication and to have one source of truth between all the parties in this project. We start with the general contractor because they are the heart of the project, but they work with the homeowners and they work with the subcontractors. So they need one place where they define the scope of work. They know exactly what is the right price for that project. And now they share it with their customer, share the relevant portion with the electrician, plumber.
Well, I think you said something that was super interesting that I'm not sure that the audience completely understands, which is the single source of truth. In order to understand the single source of truth and then how that its application to construction is basically, it's a disparate business. And that means that the plumber, when he sees the plans and marks them up, has to send them to a contractor, who has to send them to an architect, right? Like, they are not communicating in one place. So please explain, how is Homaze attacking the idea of single source of truth?
Okay, so once the general contractor, who is responsible for the entire project, once they define the scope of work, now they have it in one place. So now they share it with their customers. By a proposal, like this is the scope of work. So
the starting document for you, what you're creating, and that what the Homaze is doing is a accurate, data-backed proposal.
Yeah, we start with the scope of work. On top of that, we build
so
a
let's
proposal.
talk about that.
Yeah.
So you're saying, okay, what's the interaction? Who goes to the platform? How does it work?
The general contractor meets the homeowner on a site meeting.
Boom.
And in this place, they define the general scope of work, a bathroom renovation, and they want a niche in the shower, and they want a double vanity.
And that's in the platform, though? You're saying when you do that walkthrough, that data from that walkthrough, you need to be in our platform labeling and defining the work.
Yeah, it's very easy to use. It's like a checklist. This is going to be in this project, and I write notes, and we gather that.
Well, I don't want to minimize that because there's a book called The Checklist Manifesto, which was how to reduce death in hospitals in all countries. And one of the simplest things, and you actually, if you ever seen that movie Sully, the guy who did that miracle on the Hudson with the plane and no one died. died and they flew. It was all about checklists. So I know you're saying it's this simple checklist, but that's not so simple to create. So
it's not simple.
Your ability first was to create the simple checklist. Let me tell you, there's nothing simple about it.
It's simple to use. It's not. It wasn't simple to build. I mean, it depends on the use case. Like if contractors goes into a bathroom and they say, okay, what are we doing here? Is it tap to shower? So once they choose the relevant use case, we provide them with a relevant checklist. And it's all based on collective intelligence and all the data that we gather from thousands of remodelers that created tap to shower projects. And we know what should be included in tap to shower projects.
See, I think that's really cool. And the reason I'm saying that is the owner can just point and say stuff, right? Yeah. Like we were thinking new tile here and we're thinking bathtub there, right? They don't need to know all that's really happening because you know what? We want you to have that dream and to state and just get it out in a layperson's way in what you're looking for. It's this contractor now who's on the platform creating the scope of work. So step one is this scope of work. What you're saying is it's going to be much more accurate because every time someone just says bathroom or changing toilet, everything, and we always call that like the secondary changes and the tertiary changes in order to have the finished result of a toilet is on the platform.
Exactly. What do you need to have this toilet, this specific toilet? I mean, in-wall or other...
Correct. Exactly. What about demoing the old toilet, capping the water, right? Being able to then install, and then you're saying if the co-op board needs a timeline, like all of these things that go behind that's a cost.
Exactly.
You're saying you're picking up.
Exactly.
Okay, so now you get an accurate scope. Boom.
Yeah, and so now, and then you go to the office. And you take this scope of work, you as a GC, and you say, okay, I have a bathroom and kitchen. I have this and this in these rooms, and this is all the electricity part that is needed. Okay, now I'm sharing it with my electrician, or I'm looking for a new electrician because my electrician is busy. So Homaze helps you to find an immediate bid on this specific project, on this specific work from other electricians in this area. At the same time, or once you are ready.
So it's geographically tagged?
Yeah, of course. Any project is relevant to location. It's not the same project in New York than in other, like a single family house in
Jersey or Long Island or wherever.
Exactly. Yeah. So once you have all the prices and you are ready and you set the payment schedule.
Wait, but the Homaze is giving a suggested price, meaning it's taking data for what that should cost and they can accept it, those subcontractors, or can they alter it?
Yeah, I must say it depends on the general contractor. If they want to share, this is what I'm willing to pay for this project, like take it or leave it. Or I want to have a bid from you about this scope, and I will decide if I accept it or not.
Right, but I think what's important, and I've seen the platform, is you're laying out the line items for the pricing, right? We have a lot of problems, and we always call it bid leveling, right? How do you level a bid? And for our consumers, it's like, look, replace the toilet. You could say that. You can say, okay, replace the toilet, $200. But what kind of toilet? Are you shutting the water? Do we need a plumber, right? And what you're stating is, no, we're going to lay out the specific scope so that we can level the bid. You're $200 for your toilet. This guy's $250, but he's providing a nicer toilet. Now you know what you're paying for, right? And I think that's a big issue with owners is they say new kitchen, but who's the manufacturer? When are you demoing it? What type of appliances? And you just don't know.
Yeah, I haven't got into the homeowner side, but it's exactly this, Eric. We provide them with a proposal they understand. And it's super important because once they understand what's going on, everything is clear and detailed. They have much less questions. You don't have like a period of ping pong asking questions. Please explain me more about that and about that. And your closing rate as a contractor is going much higher because you were fast, you were accurate, you provide a detailed and clear proposal to your homeowner, and now you are closing the deals.
Correct. And the homeowner, all they had to do was have this meeting and to just lay out what they were looking for. And the rest that they don't understand is laid out in this scope of work and bid estimate. And in addition, you're collecting information about pricing in the area, which seems to prove that the contractor is credible, which is experienced and trustworthy, because you're not getting robbed, because you have the data that's saying that toilet replacement could never be $1,000. It's between $200 and $225.
Yeah. And you as the homeowner, once you receive a digital proposal, well prepared, it makes you feel that you work with a professional person. They don't know just how to build or renovate, they also know how to manage their business. And it's important as well, because you want to know that you work with a fully professional person.
So let's talk about that side. You're an owner. You're the one who starts these projects. You're the one that calls me and I'm busy, but I love you. So I tell you some kind of answer, right? About what I think the cost of construction is. Let's say you're like, no. I want a Homaze contractor or someone who's using this credible bid process. And I don't even know, because my friend tells me to go with Jim, but I don't know Jim and bid. Now that you created this contractors who are doing better proposals, who are credible, how as a homeowner can you interface now, or the apartment owner or whomever interface with Homaze?
Well, they currently receive the final result,
right?
And they can ask the contractor to use Homaze to provide them with a better proposal. But currently, they are not our customers.
Right.
They are our end customers. It's like
I understand. Okay, cool. So, why, Inbal, are you the credible person to be doing Homaze? What went on in your background that makes it that you can solve this problem? And I want to know, what technologies are you using? Are you using machine learning or AI for this information? So why you, and then what are those technologies?
Okay. So I'm kind of a serial renovation person. My career started as a tech person. I was a developer, not real estate developer, a programmer in the intelligence forces in Israel, an officer. All my life, I manage projects or renovation projects. This is like my passion.
So, Inbal, I see that you are quite humble, and I'm going to tell the audience the truth. Inbal was in a unit where they say is the foremost tech intelligence in the world. It's a very specific unit called the 8200 unit. Yeah. And by the way, that's public record. I didn't don't come after me, 8200. Don't start following me. Most important before we move on, when were you in that unit? What years?
Well, I was an officer. I was responsible.
Just the total block of time. When was it?
It was it was many years ago. Around 2000.
Okay, because I know in 2010 this unit was responsible for some crazy stuff that occurred in the Middle East. I was going to ask you if it was you.
Yeah, we were responsible. We managed big data before anyone knew what is big data, and we managed to find a specific phone call of a specific person that we wanted to find.
Amazing. So that's
and
why...
And that was 20 plus years ago. This is where I started.
Cool. And then how'd you get into serial construction then?
Well, I love it. This is my passion. I'm kind of people that when they see an architecture plan, they remove all the walls and build it from the beginning and say, no, it's not good. I can do that better. And this is what I used to do before.
And what happened though? So you're doing these renos.
So,
what was the story that you're like, this is just the worst?
Yeah. So about 2.5 years ago, I was in the middle of a project, and I talked with a friend of mine. She's an architect, and we were, how come? What's going on in this industry? How come we are working here like we are still in the 70s? And,
I agree.
And this was the start of Homaze. It was, I don't get it. No way there are no technologies here. Why no one use them? So I started looking for new technologies and understood that most technologies in this specific space are focused on new construction. And there are huge differences between new construction and remodeling. And once the tech companies that build great software for new construction, for builders, they tell remodelers, you can use that. It also works for you. Well, it's not. Mm-hmm. Because they don't take into account existing conditions of any property. It's much different to build from scratch than to renovate.
They always say what's below the ground in new construction, what's behind the walls, right? You don't know, right? So I think that's interesting because you start in tech, you go into like I call the Neanderthal business, like construction, right? We're still doing the same thing. We're not learning. And you're like, this is too much. Like, we've got to be able to interrupt this or disrupt this, right?
Exactly. My husband hoped that finally I will stop renovating again and again our house. Well, it didn't happen.
And now it's only worse.
It's only worse because I want to try Homaze on that.
Fantastic. So now tell me, so I get it. And honestly, I'm fascinated by it. And I know that if you can create that credibility to the general contractor side, you're proving that to then the owner. Like, it works. I don't know who makes it work. What are some of the technologies that you've applied? So now you know about those technologies. What are they? Like, what did you apply? Is it deep learning, data scraping, algorithms? What is it?
We work with deep tech. It's a data-driven platform. It's all based on data and analytics and the way we defined what we need from that data to provide to our customers. We also implemented lately generative AI solutions to provide an immediate value to our customers with all their needs, like with building about the company, about like to bring them to a better professional documents that they provide to their customers.
So using the right now the language models,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But let me ask you, this is the biggest thing I see, right? Construction, like you said, is so archaic, or maybe I said it, archaic. How are you collecting the data that you need so that you can actually get sustainable, credible information regarding buildings and contractors within the area? How do you suck that information up faster or efficiently? And the answer could be no, one at a time, or it could be no, there's data sets that we grab.
Well, there are data sets, there are open APIs to like city permits, and we connect to some kind of property management software that we gather data from them, and we also learn from our current users, and they provide us with data, like also with all data of other projects that they managed before, and we build most of the data from these kind of
sources. So it started from scratch, basically. Like, there's no way of accelerating it. By the way, I was talking to my father last night at dinner, and he was like, there's got to be a way that all architectural drawings can be uploaded, and now we can design buildings more efficiently with all of this time. I go, Dad, that means every architect ever would have need to scan or somehow PDF read and upload zoning, building code, plans to get that efficient. And guess what? You didn't do it, and it was a disparate language. There's no way. You just have to get smarter and smarter.
Yeah, in this industry, there is no central database of collective knowledge. Most of the knowledge is in the heads of the people. And what we are doing for the last few years, we gather this knowledge into one system, into one platform, and we provide them with all these data, and the system learns from itself, and we improve it day by day, and we see the results. Like currently.
Yeah. So what are the results today? Where is Homaze at?
So currently Homaze works with dozens of contractors in nationwide, and they use.
What cities have you penetrated?
Well, we started with New York, New Jersey, and we work in California. Surprisingly, there are some contractors in Nevada that work with Homaze, and in Miami, and this wasn't a place that we penetrated, but they found us. Actually, we don't know how. I mean, they heard about us from their colleagues, and now they work with Homaze. So they say the results of their business are much better.
Wow.
They work more efficiently. We see them working day after day in the system.
Wow.
And
so there's many touch points, meaning they use it on a daily touch point basis.
It's super exciting for us because we see that the way we imagined the value prop is like really going live, and we have much more to do. I mean, the main thing that we want to streamline is about the one source of truth, and to streamline the communication and to work much efficiently, both with subcontractors. There is a lot of data that is lost in this communication.
We said it. The guy even just, retires. It's lost. Imagine what it's like, just in general,
Yeah. And also, like, if I define the scope of work and now I tell you I need this part, I miss parts of the electricity scope. And what we want to do is, no, you are not going to write it again. You put it in one place, one time, and now we gather it for you, and you share it from Homaze in one click with any subcontractor.
Right, and the information doesn't change.
Yeah.
Right? It's always accurate. Yeah. It's always right there.
Yeah, and when there is a change order, something is changed, everyone are part of this communication, and they all know that we added this or removed that, or there is an additional something.
Amazing. So what's the vision now for the next 1 year and then 5 years?
Well, the Homaze network. Mm-hmm. This is where we are going to streamline the communication and to build to build over the platform a B2B labor marketplace to communicate, engage, and find subcontractors to any project.
Oh, so the wedge into the industry is the Homaze scope of work bid process, right?
Exactly.
And then you're saying, as a result of that, we become this marketplace.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is that 1 year or 5 years?
Well, it's between 1 to 5. No, it's well, we already started that, so we see the first signs of initial market fit in this space. But in this specific, the market network, we work only in New York, New Jersey, and California, at least our milestone at the end of 2024 is to have thousands of matches between contractors and subcontractors, and then we spread the rumor.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Inbal, we always ask our founders, with all of this craziness, you have to travel the world, you don't live here, you're going to all these different states. What do you do to stay sane?
I love it. I'm in the business, like I'm a career woman for at least 25 years. I have 3 children, and I worked in great places like Oracle, and I had a great career time, but I think that this is the first time that I feel alive the most. Like
doing it is your savior.
It's like every day you you wake up for the doing, and there are many challenges, and the market is not easy today, and you work with people and customers and investors and many stakeholders in this business. But it's interesting. You provide a real value. You change an industry, you help them, you help your customers to be better professionals, to be more efficient, and
it's amazing.
It's amazing.
So listen, Inbal, I really appreciate you coming through. I know you traveled far and wide to be here. I wish you the best of luck. Thanks.
Thanks,
right?
Eric.
You got it. You know, we talk about it all the time. It's investing in people. So as we stated, she's going after that renovation. Everyone was going after new buildings, new construction, and I told you that they should come up with the technology that would be able to give you a credible price and scope of work for what you were looking for in the industry. But it's really about the people. The people who are interested in creating that technology. Inbal not only was in the #1 tech unit out of in the military, the other thing is she renovated 20 homes and realized that it was a problem. So if I'm investing money into a tech that's going to change that home renovation game, that's where I'm looking out. So go find out about Homaze, check them out, and if you're doing your next kitchen and bathroom and you're in Jersey, you're in the city, you're in Cali, you're in Nevada, I think she said, or you're in Miami, ask her what the price is and stop asking me. All right, you know, as always, say what's up to the big man in the street, but don't ask me about your home renovation cost. Ask her.